left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning, Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Woo, that Jake sucks hit just a little different this afternoon or morning, whenever you are listening. Welcome to Wake and Jake. Hope everyone's doing well. BBD with the Wake and Jake sweater today with the white JM pants. Different. Hot. I still have my camo on. What's going on, everyone? The sports world, interesting spot. The biggest news out of the sports world today is that Tiger Woods is going to play in a father-son tournament with Charlie, which, awesome, cool. Love me some Tiger. He's the best. Everyone's going to be all over that, interested to see how he looks. Otherwise, we're kind of in an interesting spot with the sports world between baseball and the lockout. NBA will start to pick up, like the main page of ESPN right now. Trailblazers Warriors, you guys will already know the result of that. So we'll probably be sneaking in some of the NBA. If you missed our NBA preview with Taco Trey Kirby a couple weeks back, that was a lot of fun. Always a good listen. And then, yeah, I mean, college football between bowls and, getting ready for the college football playoffs, which they're not there yet. We're in a little interesting spot. So what we're going to do, our Trevor Plouffe, Minnesota Twins, great. Texas Rangers, great. Oakland A's, Phillies. Whatever high school he went to. Crespi? Nailed it. First one ever. We are going to do something fun. We are going to do crypto baseball players, baseball crypto. If you don't understand what that means, good. A lot of people don't understand crypto. A lot of people don't understand baseball. Me, Trev, and BBD, we're going to buy some crypto in the version of baseball players. Basically, we're going to do who do we think is going to hit big on their next contract? Who's the next Marcus Semien? Who's the next DJ LeMahieu? What other examples are there? I guess like Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
He took a 1 for 8 and then he got a massive contract. So, you can do some educated guesses on it, and there's some safer bets and there's some riskier bets. That's the beauty of crypto. So Trev's going to join us on that because he is our crypto advisor as well, and our baseball advisor. So I think it worked out pretty well. And we'll lead that in with just a little bit of the football. NFL will start taking over more and more. We're going to start getting Saturday NFL games. That's how you always know it's getting later in the schedule. I don't know if they're not this weekend. I believe the next weekend, week 15.
And there's 18 weeks this year.
So 18 weeks this year. Man, that's kind of weird. You say it all year that there's an extra game, and then you hear week 18, and you're like, oh,
okay.
That was never there. That was never at the Madden. No official ad today, but if you guys could sign up, or not sign up, we have a survey going on, and you get a discount from the store, 20%. Pretty legit for filling out this survey. Helps our internal stuff. I'm sure a lot of you already have. If you haven't, would really appreciate it. So it's in the link below. Give it a click. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Football weekend, get you guys ready. Tonight, Thursday, Steelers-Vikings. My Steelers that I somehow bandwagoned to for no reason, even though Big Ben looks as bad as a player can look sometimes. They're playing Minnesota, who just lost to the Lions. I guess the storyline there is Vikings are favored by 3 at home, and we are just going to find out if the Vikings full-blown quit or, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me that there's going to be a 6-7 Vikings team that's still in the hunt because a lot of people still like them. Probably. I just can't believe it. I guess someone had to lose to the Lions.
Had to happen.
So sorry, it's the mighty Vikings. Steelers 6-5-1. They're on the road. They looked a lot better as they beat the Ravens. Although the Ravens, they went for 2 to win the game. They could have easily done that. That should be a fun game. that should be a fun game. So Thursday night football, we got you something to watch there. Beauty. Into the Sunday slate, Ravens-Browns. Should be fun. Brownies at home, they're favorites over the Ravens. So that's kind of one of those, we talk about the AFC teams, and by the way, we haven't talked since the Patriots rolled over the Bills, literally and figuratively. And by the way, your boy gets to take some credit for that, for blindly taking the Patriots and believing in Belichick. Waiting to grab the sound grab from that, but I said Belichick was going to go on an FU tour this year because Tom Brady did last year. And guess what? He ran it every play except 3 times against the Buffalo Bills, who Bills fans killed me for not taking them. And that's why he's Bill Belichick, and we're not. That was nuts. Did you watch that, Beebs?
I was monitoring Twitter. I didn't watch. I watched next to none of the game.
Okay.
But
I was excited.
I knew what was happening.
Twitter hooked me with the wind videos. And the punts were like must watch. The kicks were must watch. Bills got outcoached. Not Bill Belichick, the Buffalo Bills. Anyways.
I remember what I was prepping for the Talking Yanks draft that comes out a week from today if you're listening to it.
Teaser, that's what they call that in the biz. Browns are favored at home over the 8-4 Ravens and Lamar Jackson. They have looked bad lately. In Cleveland, man, when they start running the ball, they can dominate a game real quick. And Lamar's looked tough. That would change the AFC outlook. Jaguars, Titans. Titans with a chance to go 9-4 hosting the Jaguars. That makes sense to me. They're an 8.5 point favorite. The 9-4 Titans. Is there any? What's our guy doing? Is there any Derrick Henry updates?
I haven't heard anything. But just I'm interested in checking out what some odds are on this game, because this is the type of game the Titans have been losing all year.
No, there's a little sniff test here. It goes one of two ways. Like the Titans roll and the Jaguars quit and are miserable, or like you could see the fourth quarter, it's 13-10 Jags.
This is happening.
See. I don't know. I got the same stench you got, BBD, but I don't know. I just think the Jaguars are ready to go home.
Yeah.
I think
they have their own stench this
Urban's done. Trevor Lawrence has been so bad.
I suppose,
That I still respect Rabel as a coach. That at home, and for them, the Titans have been struggling a little bit. That this can be your hey, we can get an NFL win here and be 9-4. So Titans, take care of your business. Chiefs Raiders. Chiefs 9.5 point favorites at home. Raiders. You wonder if they can get in the shootout game. KC's defense has been so good lately. This feels like the Raiders. Sometimes they like to play above their heads a little bit. Or we'll find out if the Chiefs are really, really rolling. And by the way, they are. 5 straight wins. Hosting the Raiders at home. Though this NFL season, have we not seen almost every team in this position to establish themselves and become kind of like the alpha? They haven't. So if this season continues, good. Or kind of like I've been telling you guys for the past 2-3 weeks, Chiefs win this at home against the Raiders. They're going to be 9-5 and on a 6-game winner.
9-4.
9-4 on a 6-game win streak. Patrick Mahomes, he's not even playing great yet. The rest of the team kind of is. Saints, Jets, just no thanks. I'm good.
Elijah Moore's been cool for fantasy stuff, I think.
He is cool. 43 catches, and I know he was out for a little bit. He's supposed to be uber talented. I think if he wasn't on the Jets right now, I think a lot of people would be talking about Elijah Moore. So good for him. Cowboys, how about them at Washington? 4-point favorites on the road for them boys. Washington, they're 6-6. They got a lot of good juju. They've won 4 straight after losing 4 straight. This is a big pivot game for both of these teams. This might be a really good watch. I know NFC East becomes a joke a lot. It can be easy. If the Cowboys win this, they're back to 9-4. They're established. Big road win against a team that's playing well. And meanwhile, Washington could get to 7-6. and the Cowboys would be only a game up on them. Heineke show. That's a good one. That's going to be a good 1 p.m. game. That's going to be a good 1 p.m. game. Good for the NFC East, by the way. You know, people talk about a bad football, which usually means low scoring, and their over-under is higher/equal to every game I just mentioned. Chiefs-Raiders, that you'd think would be kind of high-octane modern NFL football, same over-under as Cowboys-Washington. Do what you want with that, sports gamblers. Falcons-Panthers, no. One of those teams will be 6-7.
Somehow.
Yeah. Falcons. The Falcons are 6-7. My goodness. My goodness. Seahawks-Texans, definitely not. The only storyline would be there. Seahawks beat the Niners last week. Trevor Plouffe, Seahawks. We'll see if he joins us in a second for a little Seahawks update. Or is he a Rams guy now?
I think he might be just all Rams now.
We'll see where he's at. I guess we'll find out. Seattle.
I know it's put him through a mental pretzel.
He was. Seattle more than a touchdown favorite on the road. I guess that doesn't become fun. So Seahawks have to take care of their business. Then they play the Rams, and that becomes their pivot game. So if the Seahawks are 5-8 playing the Rams, if they somehow win that game, they have the Bears and the Lions. So when we're talking about extra playoff teams and stuff like that, I know the Seahawks have been bad, and their roster's bad. It's a little bit of a Steelers situation for me. So, Russ and Big Ben, you cannot compare at all. I mean, what Big Ben did a couple weeks ago. I think Pete Carroll and Mike Tomlin, I think those guys have their players' respect, and they've been NFL coaches for a while, which I think that does mean something. That I don't know. That Rams-Seattle game.
Seattle kind of has to win that one. And there's a path to at least their Week 18 game mattering.
You'd be staring 2 wins in the face and trying to get the last playoff game. We'll see if the Seahawks get involved. They got to win against the Texans, which they very much should. But they're also 4-8 and not a great roster. Which brings us to the 4 p.m. slate. Let me start with my horsies because sometimes I miss them. They're hosting the Lions. Let's go, baby. 8.5-point favorites against the Lions in Mile High. I'm in a weird spot with my Broncos. In Mile High, they should dominate this game. Lions, I kind of want to play the college football card of like they got their win, so they're just going to come out and stink this week.
I was going to say, I think you feel a lot less optimistic going into this week if they haven't gotten their win yet.
Like if I had to place 2 bets on this game, I would place Broncos to cover 8.5 or Lions to win straight up. Like I think they could have that kind of juice. They could just get straight up rolled. Let's go Broncos. Get a win. Like get a win and then you're 7-6. It's important. Let's get a playoff game. Giants Chargers. Where are you at with the Giants, BBD? Yeah.
It's like it sounds like Jones is out again, so it's a little bit of like he's the reason to watch because you want to find out if he matters.
Fromm, right?
Yeah, and I think Glennon's out too now.
Jake Fromm, State Farm.
But at the same time, type of game the Chargers lose and the Giants are 5-8. They can get it into respectable record territory, which I don't even know if that's even good at this point. Not because of like tanking for draft picks, but just like, hey, like just get rid of this stink. They need to start over again.
I think Danny Dimes is. I think it's over. Actually, I don't know.
Kind of where I'm at with him.
I think this quarterback draft sucks.
That's where I'm at. So this quarterback draft is like famously bad.
Right.
So I think unless you pull off the Russ trade in the offseason, which there was reports today about like 3 teams he's interested in, Giants, Denver, and New Orleans, and who knows, someone will get involved off-season's far away. So unless you pull off that trade or one of the other ones, there's kind of no reason to throw Danny back out there next year and see if he sticks. Because this year's not the year to draft a quarterback with one of your picks, and
I guess
if you get him more help, new coach, and see if it works.
And they should have a couple first rounders and sign a couple free agents. Like, you can make it one last go with Danny Dimes.
Like, I've watched a lot of Daniel Jones. I think he's clearly at least a starting level NFL quarterback. Is he one you can win with? No idea.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, I guess you just wonder where. I mean, Jared Goff is a great example. With the Rams and McVay, he had a monster year. They also kind of blindsided teams because they didn't know what to expect from Goff and McVay. And now Jared Goff's on the Lions, and they're 0-10-1. So, on the quarterback scale, can Daniel Jones be better than Goff? I think he can. He could also not. He could also not. The Daniel Jones quarterback ranking episode will come out at some point.
One of these days.
One of these days with the Adam Frazier trade. Chargers, all of that being said, Chargers at home are 10-point favorites, which is a big number in the NFL. And I'd kind of lean that way if Jake Fromm gets the start. Jake Fromm, Georgia legend.
There was a lot of Giants, Herbert stuff. The year they had the good pick was the year Herbert stayed also.
Right.
I guess essentially they picked Jones over him by proxy.
Herbert stayed. Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of good for him.
They worked out for him. So there's just some way that's going to rip my heart out one way or another.
Niners, Bengals. This is a fun one. The Niners are at 6-6. They blew it to the Seahawks last week in a game that, again, they kind of had to have Debo's out, and go check Deebo Samuel's stats this year. If you haven't been tracking via fantasy or anything else, Deebo Samuel is awesome. He's a name you should know. They're going into Cincy. So are both these teams coming off a loss? They are. The Chargers beat the Bengals. Okay. This is I think this might be your afternoon game. Oh, maybe not. Niners, Bengals. Niners are a 1.5 favorite in Cincy. Oh, give me the Bengal action on that. Some people really like the Bengals around the NFL. Some people really like the Niners, so I guess that's the trick to it. Give me that. Bengals at home versus the Niners. Oh, I don't know. Vegas always knows, but, Bengal me. I hesitated when I said that'd be your good afternoon watch because Bills, Bucks. I guess I'm losing faith in these Bills. Hey, NFL is a bounce-back league. I talked about it with the Steelers. That game that Big Ben looked so awful, they came back and they beat the 8-3 Ravens the next week. So the Bills, they are a team capable of that. They'll be playing in sunny Tampa instead of a wind tunnel in Buffalo, so that's got to be nice. That being said, I think the Bucks might be hitting their stride, man. They're 9-3. They're 5-0 at home. They lost back-to-back games to the Saints and at Washington. They beat Giants, Colts, and Falcons, so I guess that's another reason why you might look good. At Colts, though, which I think is going to end up looking like an impressive victory. I don't know. That just feels like one thing goes wrong for the Bills in that game, and the dark thoughts start to sink in, and Tampa Tom. Although, Bills, save your season. Be the Bills everyone wants you to be. I'll go Bucks there all day. -3.5, yeah.
I still believe in the Bills as a team, but it does feel like just Bills poetry, similar to last year's run, where there's dreams of them facing the Bucks in the Super Bowl, and they're going to have to go through Tom after they finally get rid of him in the division and win. Feels a little bit like, okay, they came in, they're finally the team that's supposed to be the best team in the division, and the Patriots are good again, and now if they lose to the Bucks this week and at Tom Brady this week, now they're 7-6 and in dark thoughts mode, and it can still be fine, but
a lot of people were having
Patriots, Brady, back-to-back weeks sending you into dark thoughts.
That's they used to be single serve, Patriots and Brady, and now he's going back and forth. Yeah, man, That's tough. I don't know. I think the Bucks are about to turn it on. Bills are 4-2 on the road, so maybe there's something there. Not as good as the Bucks 5-0 at home. Leonard Fournette has kind of been awesome of late. Godwin, 82 catches this year for 949. Whoops. And then the night game is Bears-Packers in Green Bay, the biggest spread of the weekend, -12.5. So, I guess what I'd say, have yourself a Sunday dinner, or maybe watch a Sunday night movie. I don't think you're going to have to watch that one. But that 4 p.m. slate, Niners-Bengals should be awesome. Bills-Bucks should be a really good one. And then I think at 1 p.m., the NFC Beast. Normally kind of a joke around the NFL. Cowboys, Washington football team, 1 p.m. or 10 a.m. in some parts of this beautiful nation. Speaking of, Trev?
Speaking of what?
We're just going through the football slate. I like to tee up some of the best games of the weekend for the people. Bills, Bucks, Niners, Bengals. And then I think Cowboys, Washington football team. A couple teams that I think Washington football teams won 3 or 4 in a row. So where are you at with football, Trev? We were wondering this before because you were your Seahawks and then Russ got hurt. Now you're Matt Stafford's best friend. Like, where are you at?
My fanhood is all over the place in all sports. I've really just I'm taking a step back and reanalyzing my position, I guess.
Okay.
Which is a nice little segue into what we're going to get into. But as far as the NFL, yeah, I'm riding with the Rams, it makes sense. I'm an LA guy. I love the Seahawks. I do. I love watching Russ play. I love Pete. It seems to me like that era is kind of coming to an end. Like Russ wants out. Pete's the oldest coach in football. Like that, there could be a departure there. And then I'd be stuck a Seahawks fan and really wouldn't have a reason to be. So I think the move was like at the right time for me as far as football. Go Rams.
I like that for you. I like that for you because Pete's got
I'm an LA guy.
Pete's got the Trojans connection. They might be coming back, so maybe we'll get your USC football back on.
It's been tough to watch that for quite some time,
bro. I'm kind of low key a USC football guy. Like college football hooked me with Leinart and Reggie Bush and Lendale. Like those teams were gross. Like, dude, not to BBD, who we're going to be cryptoing with. You're our crypto advisor. BBD doesn't really know those good USC teams. Like, that's how long it's been.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And, he wouldn't even care if he did see the highlights. It would just be like, I'm trying to think of guys that were a little bit before my time in college football. I don't care to watch anything of theirs. So,
yeah, it's like I know some names. Cool video.
Who is it for you, BBD? Who's like your college football, like, who are your people?
Or maybe what's a college football team that you grew up and they were a power and they're not? Would that be another?
Who's like faded by now? I don't know. I've never been like super locked in. Florida's a good answer. I don't know. Like Boise State was never like a powerhouse, but they were just
Boise State.
They were a good team that people liked a lot. Like my brother was more into college football than I was, and he like loved Boise State when he was a kid.
They beat Oklahoma, right? Or a team like that. One of the big bowl games.
Yeah.
On a trick play.
They did the fake throw, handoff behind the back.
And the guy proposed to his girlfriend.
Yeah,
my God.
That's college football, baby.
College football, what? Oh my God.
That's I struggle with college football. I want to get back into it. There's a lot of moving parts. Dude, I used to know like the coordinators and stuff.
Yeah.
Trev, unfortunately, we've become men. We're businessmen. We're investors. I think that's the only way to label it.
We're not, and we do invest our own money, but we are not financial advisors.
No, we should say that before we start. None of us are licensed financial advisors. I put on me creative cap the other day, and I was like, "What's Because Trev, a lot of this still revolves around baseball. We love baseball. A lot of the listeners love baseball. And I was trying to think of fun free agency ideas, and, you could do some best free agents available and things like that. Where I wanted to go, and we listed some of these names before, but your Robbie Rays, your Marcus Semiens, your DJ LeMahieu's, guys that, could sign a 1 or 2 year contract this free agency. Some guys have already gone. A lot of those other guys kind of haven't, so I'm interested to see what names you guys have. And I do hope there's a little overlap. I hope we have some investment overlap here, so it's not a draft. But it's guys who are going to sign, Robbie Ray signed a 1 for $8.5, and then he signed a 5 for $115. Like, that's
nice.
That's your crypto return. That's what we're looking for, babe. So, Trev, I didn't give you a ton of time to prepare, but I did you scan the free agent pool, see a couple names you might like, or?
I got it up right here. A couple names came to me right away. And as I'm looking through here, I feel like I got a nice mixture. We need 3 guys, right?
3 guys. There's going to be, and I just juiced up the numbers because, we're numbers guys.
Juice.
But, let's say we're going to invest $10K. We all, Trev, you just got back from Vegas. We all went to Vegas. We all hit a big roulette bet. We got $10K. We want to invest it into crypto.
I didn't win anything in Vegas. I want to make that abundantly clear.
It's tough, bro.
Most people don't.
I've been to Vegas twice, and I cannot imagine if I did win money in that town, because holy smokes. I've had a lot of fun, and I've only lost money there. So Kenny Lofton probably won a lot of money.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say how much he won the poker thing, but it was a nice amount.
You don't have to say a nice amount for Kenny Lofton. We support that.
Yeah.
So we all hit it. The boys go to the table. We win a big roulette bet. We've all got $10K. We want to bet $5,000 on kind of our safest bet. It might not be the biggest boom bust, but it's a good bet. We're gonna put $4,000 in another one. Another safer one. Maybe
it's a little more of a swing.
We still like it, but we've got a little more faith in the 5K one, and then we're gonna do $1,000. Boom or bust. It's a guy that could pan out and be a huge return, or you might have to be at grips with you losing that money. You're there?
I think the last one you mentioned, I think we're all gonna have the same guy. That's what I think.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah. Also, do I have to? I don't want to do pitchers. I'm so sick of pitchers.
Ooh, so of all 3 of the ones I've put into the categories are pitchers I kind of didn't love.
Man.
So I didn't feel strongly about it.
Okay, great. How about I'll do position players.
So I've got. Okay. I like where we're at right now. I think we've got a.
I didn't go through the pitchers.
I think we've got a diversified board. So I went through the starting pitchers, and there was only one name I saw that I thought was actually safe money. So I'm interested to see if that's who BBD got. I guess BBD. Why don't you give us a starting pitcher?
Start with my safe money guy.
Is this your safe? So this is your 5,000
$5K bet.
Okay, I wonder if it's.
He's a player who has signed already.
Okay. Did he sign with a West Coast team?
He signed with a West Coast team.
Does he have a lot of hair?
Okay.
He famously has a lot of hair.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
So my safe bet's Noah Syndergaard. He did kind of get a big deal. You're not going to get the best as far as just investing, how much improvement you're going to get. No idea. But, maybe it doesn't happen this year. We've talked about the first year back from Tommy John surgery is tough for guys. Maybe he has to do another deal like that. But I think at some point he's still young enough. He's got time to put a good year together and then get a big bag.
So that he was the starting pitcher that jumped out. That's why I was able to play that game at Clue. I guess the only risk there was kind of what you mentioned at the end with the T. This is his first year. There's, it could not fully click this year, and what does that do? That being said, we've talked about it on Talking Baseball. If it does, Noah's going to be 30, and what his arm and his body when it's right is gross.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. Actually.
Well, that's a good counterpoint.
I like Noah for this one. One, organizations are always so pitcher starved that like he on name recognition alone and some of the past performances, he's going to get paid by somebody.
Right.
He has a history of
it's
success
kinda what
already.
Yeah, he's got a track record, so it's good. I think it's a great time to buy in on Noah. What did he get? 18?
1 for 21.
1 for 21.
Declined to
Overly qualified.
18.
That's right. Yeah.
I do think
So I'd
Well-
reasonably expect a nice return on that. Return on investment, ROI. I would say you could bank on Noah floor next year walking away with like a 3-year 45.
Yeah, I mean that. Noah could
Or-
kind of be bad next year, and he's still gonna get probably a good
He's
contract.
gonna, at least by total
'Cause, I mean-
value of the contract, I think he's gonna beat 21 mil next year, no matter what.
Jordan Lyles got 1 for 7 a second ago. So like if Noah, and the other thing is if he's even shaky for his first 15 starts, but then he has
The
a
last 10
fire
look
10
good.
starts,
Turns it on,
teams
yeah.
are going to pay for that. So I like it. He was the only starting pitcher that jumped out to me. Trev, you're a hitter's guy. BBD gave his safe bet. That was your
That's
5,000.
I got $5K on him.
Who's your safe guy, Trev?
Yeah, I'm going to go with someone who I think is very reliable. I worked very hard for my money. I don't want to risk it too much, especially, if I'm going to put a decent sized chunk of my stack in there, I got to be pretty certain of it.
Yeah.
Now, the age here is a problem, but I think the track record speaks for itself. I'm going Nelson Cruz.
Ooh, interesting. I like that.
Nelson, you hope that he's kind of like a stable coin,
Okay.
one that's not going to fluctuate too much. I just want to put my money in there. I'm happy if I'm getting 10 on it. Give me 10% on that. And I think he can do it. If you look what he did with Minnesota last year, he had a 907 OPS before they traded him to Tampa. That was in 85 games. Like the guy can hit. He wants to play till he's 45. His body's in good shape. He takes care of himself. He's not going to get a 2-year deal. And we know that. So whatever he gets this year, he'll probably get a little bit more next year and then probably get a little bit more the year after that. And you're just banking on him continuing to be a DH. It's going to both leagues, so maybe you get an uptick because there's more teams involved in his services. So Nelson's my guy, my safe bet.
Trev, I mean, that's why you're a crypto guy. I mean, that's sneaky.
Yeah.
Because he goes
Very uncrypto-like, just so you know, though.
but there is a different kind of crypto risk, like retirement. But
Sure.
his numbers with Minnesota, a 907 OPS. There's not many hitters in baseball that do that. He goes to Tampa, it gets a little weird, 55 games, 725, which still isn't bad. That's still not a bad OPS. But you're right. Like, if, teams are going to look at his Tampa time and his age, and they're going to lowball Nelson a little bit. If he goes out and he puts a nice year together with a full league of DHs, I think you're right. I think you get some solid return there.
Pretty easy to see. He made 13 mil this year with the age, with the weird second half. Easily could bump down to call it 7. I don't know. And the next year back up to 10.
I mean, if he rakes, if he does a 2019 41 ding dongs,
back up even higher.
Okay,
Very
Trev,
easy to see that path.
That's fine.
That's awesome. Again, I almost searched age in reverse of that, but I love that you went there, and you're my crypto guy.
Crypto guy.
My safe bet, and now I feel pretty soft because I think this is really safe. But maybe it's not. I guess, no, there's risk here. This is crypto. I went for a reliever.
Oh, no.
I know. It's a little boomer
I
bust.
wonder if it's the reliever. I wrote down and didn't assign to any of these.
Okay. BBD has a reliever. We'll see if it's the same guy. I went with Corey Knievel. He's going over to the Phillies on a 1-year, 10 mil. Let me see if I've got that right. 1 year, 10 mil. He's 30 years old. This guy has some gross in him. In 2017, he was one of the best relievers in the game. Top 1% in expected batting, expected slugging, all the stuff the nerds like. By the way, the ERA, I think, was a $1. He had TJ. He comes back from that. He goes over to the Dodgers. He gets a little bit of their secret sauce this year. He was good. 2.45 ERA, 25.2 innings. I think Philly is going to need him and, give him every opportunity to be the stud for them. This guy goes out and he puts a full season of Corey Knebel out there. I think you're looking at a Reisel, Liam Hendricks type contract that, I don't know. That's my bet. Now, relievers, they're the most volatile position. So at the same time, Corey Knebel could go out, stink up the joint, get hurt, and he's coming down a little bit. But teams also like to bet on a guy like Corey Knebel. So he's my safe money.
I like it. Track record's there. The stuff is there. Eye test when you watch him pitch is there. And like you said, pitchers are always in need. And like good relievers, there's always a team like the Phillies is like, we're just a good bullpen away from winning, and they will pay for it. Because I don't know if he'll demand 4 years or anything like that anymore, but you could reasonably expect him to up the 1 year 10 if he has a good year, but maybe a 2 with an option is very possible with a guy like that. So that's a good pick. I like that.
Appreciate that. I think we also need to name our coins. BBD, I think you're probably Thor coin.
Thor coin. Mine was pretty easy.
Cruz coin is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Does Nelson Cruz have a good nickname?
So what I'll do is I'll do Nelly coin just because I'll get people searching for Nelly as well.
And maybe you get Nelly to buy in.
Nelly Furtado. There's like a lot of Nellys. I can start. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
I think
NFTs.
And Boomstick is.
Boomstick is right. I was gonna say he had a good nickname. I like the Nelly angle. I'll go Knebel coin. Sounds kind of lame. I'll bump it back. I'll go with my $4,000 bet, kind of my second safest. I think it's got a good chance to pay off. I think it's going to have interest no matter how it falls. It's a guy that I always get sucked into. He's going to probably get a 1-year deal, and then I think he's going to be looking for a home. I'm going with Jock Peterson.
I like it.
So Jock,
in consideration,
he signed with the Cubs last year. He's kind of He goes to Atlanta. He's a little better. Then he has the division series where he goes nuts. He's wearing the pearls. Then he starts going full Jock. He's got wine on the field. He's wearing the crazy outfits. And most importantly, Trev, these teams care about numbers. And I think Jock Peterson can still put up a monster season against righties. He's got a career 832 OPS against righties. I think there can kind of, if he has a good season, which he could also not. That's baseball. But I think, kind of what Schwarbo did this year. Like, a little different. I think Jock could still be a little more serviceable in the field. I think Schwarber can do a little more with the bat. But I think a team can talk themselves into, after this 1-year deal, I think a team could say, hey, Jock, here's 3 years. Like, come home. Fans love you. Be Jock. Rake against righties. So he's my 2.
There's a world where I guess he can get that multi-year offer right now.
That's kind of the risk I'm running a little bit. But he also, he was nice in the playoffs for a little bit. He also wasn't. He ended up having a negative 0.1 B-WAR last year. So I don't know. I'm buying low.
Definitely a shot of him going 1 again this
year. I Jock was definitely on my radar, and I was choosing between 2 guys. And now that you've chosen him, I'll go with my other guy. But
okay,
love Jock for the platoon angle. Teams are all about that. You can dream on that all day long. Pair him up with somebody, take the payroll down. But yeah, if he gets consistent at bats, or enough at bats, and a team maybe who's not that good. Like I'm not going to say he's going to like with the Orioles but someone like that. You put him and play him every day. Yeah, then you can start dreaming of a couple of years here, a couple of years there.
And by the way, there's
still time for Jock.
This year was one of his best years versus lefties. Only 112 plate appearances, but a 726 OPS. So like if he, if the right team takes a chance on him and lets him play, if he has a 700 OPS versus lefties, like he has the potential to put up a big year because he was bad with the Dodgers, and they didn't let him see lefties, and that's the only way to get better. I don't have to tell you and BBD, big leaguers. Who's your other guy, Trev?
We know him and we love him. Ooh. That's my guy, Backyard Brad.
Wow. BYB.
Backyard Brad. First of all, he was in my brain because we were texting over the last couple of days. Second of all, if you really go check out the numbers, the guy's been an offensive threat for the last 3 years, but he doesn't get paid like it. So check out these salaries. And I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I want to buy in now before he signs the deal. I think he might get a multi-year deal, like going into it. Is that
I think that's allowed.
We're dancing around it. We'll see.
I've been okay with it the whole time.
Brad's salaries: 2019, $1 million; 2020, $2 million; 2021, $3.5 million. Just a steady ticker. It's ready to go. Boom. Played 140 games last year after the previous 2 years. What total? Let's see. 2019, 79 games. 2018, 75 games. 2020, obviously, it was only 48 games. And this year, he put 140 games in. Obviously, a lot of those are coming in late, pinch hitting, because there's not a lot of plate appearances. But 894 OPS in 2019, 807 in 2020, down to 774. He's got to get the OBP up. But teams can dream on that. He's versatile enough on his defense that they can move him around.
Can stand at enough positions.
A little thump in the bat there. He had some big homers for the Phillies this year. I want him to go to a team where he gets consistent at bats. I'd like to see I like to dream upon 30 for him if he got consistent at bats.
Hit in 20 and less than 400 plate appearances this year.
Yes.
I mean, this is a fun one. The tricky part with Backyard Brad, and by the way, BYB coin, I think that's a no-brainer. Yes. With Jock coin. There's part of me that wants him to join a bad team and like start every day and let's see what you can put up. The other side of that is he's also fun on a good team because he's that versatile guy and he's going to give you a good at bat. But
the off the bench thing.
I know we keep using the Orioles.
What's his pinch hitting stats? Are they really good? Like, is he better off the bench or is he better playing every day?
It's an interesting.
I'll look at his 2021 splits.
I'll see if I can find them career-wise. Yeah, again, sorry Orioles fans, but I'd love to see Backyard Brad in Camden for 145.
Every time we think of a bad team, we're like, the Orioles.
In 56 pinch hitting plate appearances this year, an 810 OPS.
That's pretty good.
He hit some homers, that's why. I bet the average and the OBP are not good.
Honestly, it's not too bad. Two homers. It's a 275 batting average. 4 doubles.
Don't you remember some big old homers, overall. Like long ones, like grand
couple 3-homer
games
this year?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm remembering. Backyard Brad, good clubhouse guy too. So take that into consideration.
Go to a bad team, play every day, and get traded at the deadline.
Yeah, what's another spot? Orioles is a great spot.
Pittsburgh.
He looked good in that. He wears a funny uniform, but it's a good uniform. He wears it well.
Backyard Brad. Okay.
BBD.
So was he your 4,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
My 4,000. This was the one I got kind of the most excited about. And it's It'll be called Squid Coin because I'm going with our guy, Steven Brault.
Wow.
It's kind of a surprise DFA by the Pirates. I don't know what they're doing ever. But, he's 29 years old, throws left-handed. He hasn't, fully put together like a great full MLB season yet. The track record's not quite there. But this year he comes back from injury. Through his first 4 starts, he had an ERA in the ones. And he kind of gets banged up again, and the season gets cut short that direction. It's only 7 games this year. But his 2020 was really good, obviously shortened by the pandemic. And at his age, you throw with that hand, and he's going to probably take a pill. He's going to have to take some sort of short-term deal now, but and you'll get paid. He's good enough to get paid. So go put together a good year somewhere.
We know what the Pirates are thinking, BBD. They don't want any money on the books.
And that's Steven Brault. I guess there's a couple things to look at. A, he's leaving.
Our coworker.
Our colleague.
Other reason I was excited.
He's leaving Pittsburgh, which we've seen that work out for some pitchers.
Yep.
Get some different analytics and different people looking at you. And yeah, I guess you'd put him in the Steven Matz book. You put together a season as a lefty pitcher, and a team's gonna believe in you. So, I like that one. I thought about
He's
Brault.
young enough to do it.
I thought about Brault. Got a little nervous, colleague, but that stock's going.
Are the Dodgers gonna? The Dodgers are gonna scoop him up for cheap, and they're gonna freaking turn him into just a baller.
I think the other. Well, how about this? NL West as a whole. Everyone's saying Padres because he loves San Diego. Is he from San Diego?
From there, yeah.
From San Diego. Padres need pitching. I mean, does he not seem like the kind of guy that Gabe and the San Francisco Giants could get going? I mean, so.
Oh yeah, because he plays like an instrument and sings, and like Gabe would get the bass going. All of a sudden, they'll be having concerts in between innings, and then baseball will be fun again, and people want to watch it on TV because Gabe would be shirtless, playing the bass.
They
could
just
dream.
didn't bring back Osmond. I mean, they re-signed a couple dudes, but they've got some money that came off the books I don't think they've really allocated yet.
That's man, that image in San Fran. Couple high class guys.
Get him in that big ballpark.
Nice call.
I like that. I like that. All right, boys. This is the fun part.
This is it. Yeah.
We've made our investments. We're basically heading back to the roulette table. And we're putting it down on black or red and hoping it hits. Or no, we're putting it on black 17. And if it hits, we're going out tonight, boys. If not, it was already money spent. BBD, I'll give you the honors as we snake this around. Who's your $1,000 flyer?
This is kind of as flyery as it gets. It's very easy to not believe in it, but it has the potential. This is a guy. I'm getting a third arm.
Okay.
This is a guy. He at one point was a very highly regarded young pitcher. Put together some really nice years. It's Carlos Martinez.
Ooh.
He's struggled the last few years around some injuries, and the stuff has changed a little bit, but it's not hard to imagine some team can unlock it, and if he's healthy and they fix, you're always one switch away. One little change can make the difference, and he's a guy who's been talented, and he's certainly not going to. I don't think it's a stretch where we say he's not going to get a big deal this offseason. But 29 years old, there's a world. He puts it together for a year or two on this deal, and then and there's still time to go get a really nice payday.
What happened to him? There's something happened, right? Like,
I think he got a TJ and some other injuries. I don't know what the deal's been since then. They moved him to the bullpen.
Injuries, bullpen. I think he's got
bullpen was 2019.
Yeah,
right?
2019. He had like a nice year in the bullpen.
He's got some mileage on him. For a young guy, he's got mileage on him.
And that's why they put him in the bullpen.
Season.
I kind of like that, BBD.
As a flyer, I'll take my chances on that talent. Put him back in the rotation this year, and it kind of didn't work. but
And did you face him, Trev?
I don't know, possibly. I
we'll
remember
figure
what
out
he
does.
remember what he looks like, but I like it because there is potential here. Because I don't know what he's going to sign for this year. If it's a nominal amount, and you can dream upon a good season. Why do I keep saying dream upon?
Dream
I don't know
upon.
what is going on?
Nice.
I am so groggy. I'm just telling you right now. I had an espresso at 4 p.m. for you guys,
Love that.
so I could give my hot crypto takes.
Trev, you did face him. Pulling up the log, it was one game
In St. Louis,
I think in St. Louis. You doubled in your second at bat. First at bat was a double play, a line out double play though. Line out to second. They got Mauer. I think you probably hit a line drive into a shift or something. They stepped on second, got Mauer. It looks like. Then you doubled down the left field line, and then also it was a hard ground out to short.
Damn.
Joe, what is you doing, baby?
2015.
Man, they used to be pretty good.
June 17th.
Carlos Martinez, it looks like a ligament in his thumb.
I knew there was like a weird injury mixed in. I couldn't find out what it was.
So
strange how they handled him. Starter. And they're like, oh, we need to limit your innings. You're in the bullpen. Okay, did that for 1 year, and now you're back starting games for us.
yeah, he had a $17 million club option for this year. Politely declined. So yeah, BBD, I like that. Like if he catches on somewhere and throws some good innings, he'll get a nice contract after that. If it doesn't happen, he probably gets invited somewhere again, but
I guess it's hard to imagine I guess he can end up out of baseball if it's another year like the last 2 years. It's on the table, but it's hard to imagine if he gets another deal after this one, it'll be much less. Not going to lose a ton on that. Yeah, also it's the sprinkle anyway.
I like it. Good reasoning.
I like it.
Also, one note, I went to go look at his baseball savant stuff because I knew it becomes pretty blue the last couple of years. And there's another Carlos Martinez, and with the CBA stuff, and they don't have faces. Man, that was a frustrating.
Yeah, that was
trying
tough.
to click. Also, a right-handed pitcher.
I tried to do that on the fly, and that was tough.
Yeah, I got.
That is tough. Trev, crypto
Yes.
Trev.
I thought we were all going to be on this guy. You're talking someone that has big time potential to secure the bag in the future.
Sure.
It's the bag, we get the bag. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
My guy's Clint Frazier.
Ooh.
He's 27 years old, just turned 27. Okay. He's coming off the worst year he's ever played baseball in his life. We're buying at rock bottom, signs for $1.5 million with the Cubs. He's still in arbitration. If he's just alive on the field this year, playing baseball, that number is going to go up. If he produces like he did with the Yankees for a little bit in 2020, we're talking the guy could potentially get himself an extension at that point. We're talking at least arbitration numbers are going to be inflated at 3-4 mil in his first year. The potential, the upward mobility, like this is one of those ones you put the rocket on next to and you put it in your profile and you're like, I'm attached to this. You know what I mean?
I do. The rocket in the profile made it very clear.
And he can still, he's, again, only 27. He's
young.
If he builds this, the ARB number goes up. At that alone gets you in a nice earning spot. And he can hit free agency after his age 29 season.
The potential's there, man.
And we're about to fix the CBA. The guys at that age will start getting paid.
I, too, had Clint.
If they're a tweener.
I, too, had Clint. He was, the point I kept driving home is, I'm ready to lose this money, and I guess as a Yankee fan, I felt that with Clint for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cashman believes in Clint Frazier. He gave him every opportunity in the world, and it's because of what he can do with a baseball bat when he's right. So we'll see. If and when you combine his 2019 and his 2012, the guy 108 games with an 844 OPS as a young ball player, that's the win. We know that's what teams care about. And yet at the same time, we've heard some rumors about him, and he was awful last year. And he's got some injury history and stuff. So
The glove, obviously.
the glove can
factor.
be bad, but the DH position can help.
You get paid for the bat.
That's who I had too. The former Yankee great that also jumped off the map would be Andrew Heaney, the Heen Dog. Kind of entered free agency as bad as you could. And the Los Angeles Dodgers believe in him enough to give him $8.5 million. Again, look at Steven Matz. Like that can be your payday. But I had Jock, Knievel, and Clint. I did forget about the arbitration thing a little bit, which that's kind of a factor, but also kind of not. Because I believe in Clint for 1 year. I don't know if I believe in him for, what would he need to do, 3 years to hit like free agency?
Yeah, but you can get an extension if they believe he's turned the corner.
Right.
I mean, look, I don't know Clint, but when I think of him, I think of like a guy who, I feel like I can't even say this.
Yeah.
I feel like he needed to mature a little bit.
A little bit. No, I think
And
that's
maybe
fair.
I'm completely off on that. That's just the
Right.
the view I have, from afar. Mature a little bit, really focus on yourself and just try to become a better ball player. I mean, he's 27. This is about the time, and you get a kick in the butt. You get he was non-tendered, right?
Yeah.
He was technically designated for
Or
assignment.
designated. He was just
before.
designated. He was
Yeah.
designated. You get designated for assignment, man. It turns something in your head on. So I got to go. Like, this is my opportunity, and if I don't do it now, it's gone forever. And a guy like him, I could see him taking that, using it as motivation, and really just pouring himself into his work. Maybe he gets there with Stroman, and they do that together. I hope Stroman keeps the same energy, working hard and stuff. You can say anything you want about him, but he does work hard. I'm hoping he continues that, even though he's got his big freaking deal. But if they get together, that's an interesting dynamic, those two together. I feel like they're sort of like compatible, and Stroman could really maybe take him under his wing. I don't know if that's like a pitcher position player thing doesn't really work like that as far as like workouts and stuff, but maybe just the overall vibe, like a mentorship.
Sure. And kind of, it's not the Yankees. It's go out and have like fun and like, be yourself and shine. So if they're both playing well and doing that, they can do that.
On days when the ball's blowing out in Wrigley, Clint Frazier might hit 700-foot home runs.
You get a couple of those in a row, make a nice season out of that. Any other names jump out to you guys? Anyone you saw?
The other one I was interested in is a bat. It's Jorge Solaire. He's 29 now. DH is coming universally. He's had that 48 homer season. He did a lot to help himself this year and with his playoffs and everything. So if he can put together a full year this year, there's a world.
Love it.
Yeah, he was interesting. I didn't know.
The position players I pulled aside were him, Jock, Eddie. When I was just like scrolling through the tracker, and I was like, oh, I have a type there that I was looking at. They're at ages where, so kind of any of them could have been easily been my sprinkle.
I hope Solaire's right, man. Give me a thick daddy Solaire
And he's
hitting
hot.
ding dongs for the next 5-6 years. Sign me up for that. Andrelton Simmons was a potential one. If he puts together one good year at shortstop, a team will believe.
Someone will at least give him 2 somewhere.
Anyone else for you, Daddy Trev?
I'm perusing right now, and I don't know. What if Rizzo takes a 1-year deal this year and bets on himself? I mean, not that it's a bet on himself, but like goes off, and some teams like, hey, look, we have the DH. I think the DH is a big part of this. It can extend some of these older guys' careers.
Yeah, if we can DH him 1 day
Riz-
a week.
Yeah, so I think he's another good one.
I like that. Maybe a Kikuchi if he signs a short deal.
Who'd you say?
Excuse me.
That's Jimmy's guy.
That's
Kikuchi.
Jimmy's guy. Yeah, I can't take that. I can't take that. I love it. I like where we landed. We'll I guess in about a year or so, we'll just follow up on our crypto.
So
and
rich.
See. We're gonna be so rich.
So rich.
So rich. Unfortunately, we'll be so rich that we probably won't be doing any more shows. So
Yeah.
you guys will just have to
100%.
keep track at home. And we'll see you on the moon, I guess.
I want all John Boy Media fans to know
Yeah.
that when I strike it rich through crypto, I'm out of here.
Gone.
I'll pop in every once in a while.
For fun.
Only on Wake and Jake.
It's the best spot. That's kind of your spot.
I didn't want to tell you guys this, but I might have been baked and jaked when I came on here today.
Need that. I need that energy.
I'm a struggle bus right now, bro.
I might put like Jock with the Bitcoin with the rocket in my Twitter bio. People are just be like, "What? What is
Get
that?"
a Jock coin like you know how they have like a Bitcoin that looks like a coin, but there's
Yeah.
like obviously not a real physical coin. You need like a Jock coin
Jock
makeup.
coin. We'll get someone. Maybe we'll get producer extraordinary
Dollar sign Jock.
Rob Scirocco on that Jock coin.
Nelly coin's sick because of the multi. You know I'm friends with Nelly
Right.
from St. Louis, obviously, and Nelly Furtado sings "I'm Like a Bird, I Only Fly Away," and she's really good.
She is good.
Yeah.
You gotta like Nelly Furtado, BBD. That's kind of your music lane.
A little bit.
I think he doesn't know who Nelly Furtado is.
I know that song.
I'm like a
Nestor
bird.
Cortez tweeted.
Oh,
All right, I got to go
see.
be a parent, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for having me on your beautiful program.
We love you, Trev. That's at Trevor Plouffe,
Yeah.
a crypto specialist.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am. Gonna be so rich. I love it.
See you, Big Daddy.
Later, guys.
Love you. Well, that was perfect. Trevor Plouffe. I mean, I'll give you a comment of the day. I mean, we're here. Why
As
not?
well, real quick.
You guys deserve it. We're at 477 subs. Thank you guys. 5K very soon. I smell it. And whoever smelt it dealt it. And you know what? Maybe we'll just end it here. Maybe we'll save some of the bros and everything else. Connor Green said, being a fan of Colorado and Minnesota sports team is brutal. All I feel is pain. So, if you're not a fan of those teams, enjoy your weekend. Colorado and Minnesota.
Tough combo.
Anyone there? I mean, Broncos have
Broncos are
they've been good.
normal.
Minnesota. Nothing.
Timberwolves always sneaky disaster.
Twins were solid for a few years.
did like 4
Bad
nice
playoff
years.
stuff. Sorry, Connor. We love you.
Rocks, obviously.
No Rockies today. No Rockies today.
Nuggets are a good team.
Yeah. Jokic. Joke.
I'm guessing he's a T-Wolves guy.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe
likes
it's
the wrong
bouncing.
team in each sport.
Sneezed. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Leading up to Christmas. Go watch everything on the John Boy Media Network. Chris Rose, Jimmy Rollins. That's really cool. David Cohn with Tom Glavine was awesome. Breakdowns. JJR talking baseball, labor pod. Mansplain girls. Sometimes there's nets. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Love you. We will see you Monday morning, baby.